Hey there, YouTube friends. Mass Bandit here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I always do appreciate it. We are back in Surfside Pleasure Pier for another episode, and it's official. We are officially in the home stretch. I am calling it. It's been called. What is it? It's the 11th of August as of this recording, and I'm calling it. We are definitely in the home stretch of the file of the park. And with that comes a lot of the tedious stuff that I've been putting off for the last month. We start by dressing up the entrance area to the swing ride, which I think I called Starflyer. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I think. I don't remember what I called it. I think I called it Starflyer. I don't know. But we're doing some queue work, and we're going to put we're going to put a simple cover over it, and that's going to do it. And that's all I got. And then we're going to lay some more fencing, and then we're going to lay some more fencing, and then we're going to lay some more fencing. All you lovely folks in the comments have said that you don't want to miss, and you want me to record it all, so I am recording it all, and I'm going to play it for you guys. This is, even with that being said, this is still going to be probably one of the shorter episodes. It'll be right around the 15-minute mark, and so... yeah, we're in the final chapter here. To be completely honest, that's a weird place to be in Planet Coaster. I've never completed anything in Planet Coaster. Like I said, aside from the one-off rides and stuff, I don't know what this is like. This is so new and different and exciting. Except when I look around the park and I realize how many things there are left to do. And then you realize, oh crap, there's still quite a bit left to do. But that being said, I did enjoy the way that this came out. I think it works quite well. And I like that it's this little bit of queue here in the front, and then it just vanishes off the edge of the pier. I like that. You can see I try to do some... Look, I thought I could roll with it. I thought I could do a hashtag good enough on these fencing, because I really didn't want to do the custom fencing, but then I said, I just can't. I can't live with it. It looks too bad. It's not good. It doesn't look good enough. So even I, the king of the Shrug Bandit, the king of the good enough, can't live with everything. So that needed to get changed. So we end up spending quite a bit of time doing custom railings down the path here, which... once they're in, I think you're going to agree with me that they're totally worth it and totally necessary. I'm kind of at the point where any incline or decline is going to have to require custom railings. From this point forward, I don't see a place, and I don't see a fence style that... Excuse me while I move my mic just a tiny bit. There we go. I don't see a fence style where I could realistically get away with putting it on an angle like that. They don't line up well enough at all. So I guess I'm going to have to just bite the bullet, and every time I have a change in incline, I guess that means custom railings. Hey, but totally worth it. Immediately, as soon as those are in, isn't that totally worth it? So much better. I think it's so much better. Hopefully you think it's so much better too, and worth the extra time it takes, and worth the extra part count. I think it's about 150 parts just for the actual railings, not including the posts. So it's probably pushing 175-ish pieces, just the railings here. Someone asked me what's the part count on this in the previous episode. I don't know. And you know what? I didn't. I said I was going to do a test, and I didn't. I didn't do that. So sorry for that. But I'm going to guess it's about 50,000. I bet you it's about 50K. Maybe a bit under. I don't know. I have to do it and find out for everyone. Because when I put this on the workshop, I want most computers to be able to run it. Just if you're concerned about, I won't ever be able to run this park. My old computer, which was no spring chicken and nothing fantastic, it could run No Name Landia on low decently. So I think most people are going to have absolutely no troubles running this park. I'm still getting a lot of comments requesting this to be put on the workshop. I don't want to sound rude, but I've already said a bunch. It's going on the workshop. It really will. I promise. I'm going to put this on the workshop. And I'm also going to pull out a bunch of blueprints so that you can use them in your parks if you want. I'm thinking the minimum blueprints will be the the Spoopy Manor, Cyclone, or not Cyclone, sorry, Comet. The real one's called Cyclone. Ours is called Comet. Comet Wooden Coaster, Stingray Eurofighter, Sharkbait Boohaha, I still laugh when I say it. Sharkbait Boohaha, the Flume Ride. In addition, someone asked for the stage. Sure, I can blueprint the stage. Doesn't bother me at all. I can blueprint the bumper car cover if people would be interested in that. Is there anything else worth blueprinting? I mean, I could do the stalls and stuff, but I don't think those are... Oh, Tacky Shack is already on the workshop. So that's my plan, is to give you the file so you can go and explore yourself, and also to give you a whole bunch of individual blueprints. And I posted on Twitter today, what would you like to see when it comes to the tracked rides, the dark ride, the 2 coasters, and the flume? Do you want to see an individual POV for those, or do you want to see... one larger video? And a bunch of people were like, well, just do a bro trip. We're going to be doing a bro trip. I'm pretty sure Mike and I have decided that we will be bro tripping Surfside once it's finished, but this is in addition to that. My gut instinct is to have fairly simple, straightforward POVs individually so that I can attach them to the blueprint link on the Steam Workshop. I like to include videos if I can in the workshop items. So if I can do that, I definitely will. So I think that's where I'm going to be headed, individual POVs for each of those 4 rides. I think that'll be good. So a bit about what's going on here. You saw I had a shooting gallery in there for a while. I liked it, but it really confined the area way too much. So we throw in a little bit of extra seating and a vending machine, and I think that helps fill this area in really well. One thing I've been doing a lot in this episode, and I've already started building the next episode actually, is just going up and down the pier and just looking for things that look unfinished or gross, and I hop in and I fix them. So from now until the end, which I think there's about 2 more episodes, maybe 2 or 3, we might just get right to 20. It's going to be a whole lot of all over the map. Like, I wanted to shore this up. This has been sitting unfinished for forever, this little shark and clownfish scenery piece. So I gave it some proper curbing and made it blue to make it look like we tried hard to make it look like water. Jaunty, as well as a couple others, suggested a while ago, a long time ago, why don't you include some plexiglass paneling there as an afterthought, like, oh crap, this historic building's getting all wet with the flume. So that's what we're doing here. We are throwing that in. Like, a lot of the ideas you guys have suggested, you haven't seen them come up yet. That's what these last few episodes are going to be. The ideas that in the comments I said, hey, that's a great idea, I need to do that, are going to be showing up now. Now that the main idea of the pier is completed, all the rides are in place. We aren't adding any more rides. So you can go ahead and suggest what else you'd like to see on the pier, but just be ready for nothing else to come in. I did have a play off camera with a car ride, and it just felt too narrow of a space between the coaster and the edge of the pier. I didn't like it, and I didn't think it would be good enough as an attraction, so we didn't go with it. What I'm doing here actually is throwing down some blue. The flume ride in Galveston is actually in a big trough, and the whole thing is in water. I was really surprised to see that. So I wanted to kind of give that idea here, because you can't really do that. We don't. A fantastic set would be to have like a piece of just a scenery piece like this that has water caustics on it. That'd be great, where it looks like there's water shimmering. That would be such a great piece. I think RollerCoaster Tycoon. No, it was custom scenery. There was RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 custom scenery. And then I wanted to record the spoopy POV for everyone, but I didn't have the queue ready to go. So I real quickly just put in some simple fencing. I wanted this ride to be complete before I did the POV. So I know I've been saying the POV is coming. It is. But I think I'm deciding to hold off on all the POVs until the end of the series, and then I will release the POVs along with the blueprints. So as the blueprints come out, you can expect POVs. So don't worry, you will still get your Spoopy Manor POV. It'll just be a little bit later than probably a lot of you wanted it to be. But what are you going to do about it? One of the things that I thought was kind of interesting is I think this simple cover that I do for the, I don't know what it's called, the Larson Looper. I call them Ring of Fires because that's what they were called at the carnivals I was at when I was growing up. But just adding the custom fencing here and the custom overhang, or the custom like shade covers, I think it boosted the prestige enough, just because of the queue scenery, to actually make people want to ride it more frequently. So if you're ever looking for an easy way to get more people to ride your stuff, put custom fencing in. It's not the hardest thing in the world to do, and it'll help your queue scenery score. And then if you want to be a little more adventurous, these little awnings that I'm making are fairly easy. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. They're like 8 pieces, 12 pieces per little panel there. They're not that hard to make. I mean, I think you could make them if you're so inclined. And you just put those in your queue, and that helps boost your rating as well, because it's scenery pieces. The game isn't picky about which scenery pieces you use, I suppose. The thing I ran into here, though, is that I didn't actually have... I actually had them... they kind of get in the way of the path in some places, which is why the placement of them, once I put more than this one in, are a little kind of like funky. And like, why is there a gap there? Well, because it didn't work right. So you'll notice there's a little gap there, but I still think it looks nice, and I like the way it looks. And that brings us to the zipper here. Again, I call it the zipper because that's what I rode in the carnival when I was a kid. I rode this stupid ride. I think it's called the kickflip in game. God, that was one of the first rides I ever rode that went upside down. I was a kid. I wasn't too old. No one would go on it with me. I had to go on by myself, and I just pooped my pants the whole time. It was such a scary ride for me. It kind of scarred me, and it took me a while, like, of actually riding coasters and stuff to get over that fear. And then I realized that the Comet, the coaster that we started back in episode 3, has no entrance to it, no official like entrance marking. So I figured we'd go ahead and do that here. I'm using Uakin's awesome lighting, awesome box light set again, box letters again, and I create a little entrance like square. I don't know what you call it. A little entrance. Is it a shack? I don't know. I used shack a lot in the last episode. Shack. Oh, can you dig it? Sorry. So I end up making a little cover here, a little entrance, like booth almost. We'll call it a booth. It's an entrance booth. And this was, it wasn't hard, but it was surprisingly a bigger pain in the ass than I wanted it to be. And you can see we do a lot of fiddling around with it. Not to mention the Comet lettering is actually not aligned properly with the rest of the structure. And I don't figure that out until we're way into it. So I'll have to fix it, and you'll see me do that. But to be completely frank, I'm not sold on these letters. Like, I like this little entrance, but I don't necessarily like the letters on it. Which kind of bums me out, because they're so cool. I do love those letters, but now that I'm rewatching it in the time lapse, and as I was building it, I was like, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this look good, and it was fine. I didn't hate it, but now that I'm watching it, I don't think I like it so much. What are your thoughts? Do you like the Comet sign there? Yes or no? And if no, what do you think should be there? How should we make it look better? I think we're going to keep that structure, just a simple billboard sign, I guess. A different custom sign. I mean, I could do that if it's not, crazy intense. So, but hopefully you've noticed, if you follow me and you're watching this episode, hopefully you've noticed that I've started a new series, City Skylines. And episode 1 of that came out today, Saturday, the 11th of August. And I'm super pumped to be back in City Skylines. I haven't played City Skylines in like a year. And if you really like the Planet Coaster stuff we do, the attention to detail and the, realism and all that, I think you'd really enjoy the Skyline series, because it's going to be a lot of the same stuff, just instead of theme parks, city building. And with the new DLC that came out, a couple months ago now? With the new DLC that came out, Park Life, I do want to include an amusement park in that. So just hold on to that. And if you're looking for something else to watch, you've watched all the Surfside and you're looking for something else to get into, I recommend you watch, it's called Fisher Landing. Go ahead and check out Fisher's Landing, my City Skylines series. Shameless plug, I know, but that's kind of what your YouTube channel is for, is it not? I mean, I don't know. So, oh my gosh, it's already the end of the episode. I told you these last few were going to be kind of short. So as we finish up the structure here, we're going to go into some time lapses. and you could see the finished Comet sign here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I always do appreciate it. If you liked this episode and you like Surfside, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. Check out some of the other things on the channel. We've got lots of good stuff going on. So have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever, and I'll see all of you for the next episode real soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.